Hey there, this is James here, Rimo3 Field CTO, and in this short video I'm just going to give you a demo of our new facilitated UAT feature. So for all of our feature releases, to learn a bit more, you can head over to Rimo3.com and head down product and feature releases. And on this page you can read about our latest feature release, Ganges, which included this facilitated UAT feature in preview, but also any previous releases as well. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So I'm just over here on my Rimo3 demo tenant, and first of all let me show you how to enable this feature. So it's not enabled by default because it's still in preview, and we're currently sort of taking feedback to help us improve the feature. But to do it, it's part of the advanced and customers menu. So find your Rimo3 tenant. So as a admin user, you'll only have access to your own tenant. If you don't see this, then get in touch with your admin or speak to us at Rimo3 and we can help you. But basically, you need this button ticked to enable the UAT feature. Once that has been ticked, to access it, so let's say we want to do a UAT test of this application, I'll go into the package details page, and if this feature is enabled, you will now see this button up here, facilitated UAT. And really straightforward. To initiate a UAT test, I just click on this button and you're presented with a few options here. So you can either set it up for your target environment or your AVD environment, and these refer to how you've got the Rimo3 environment set up. So if I just head over to manage environments, and this would either have been done when you first provisioned the Rimo3 tenant, or you can do it at any time where your target environment updates. So for me, I've got this set to Windows 11 23 H2, and of course you can use custom images as well for your target environments. This is really around our sort of single session physical image, Windows 365 Cloud PC image. And then we can also do facilitated UAT for AVD testing as well. So we can use our multi-session image if we wish to. Of course, we could also use a server image or custom build if we want to. So all possible, but whatever these are set to, this is what will get provisioned as part of that UAT feature. So let me just head back over into the app and let's start the provisioning process for this application. So I'm just going to do standard target environment, and you can either provision the VM with a private IP address. So this will be a private IP address provided as part of the virtual network that we deployed into your resource group, so the Rimo3 VNet. So only use that option if you're able to access that IP address range from maybe a jump box or some other way. However, you can also define a public IP address as well. So it really depends on your network. So for example, if you had this deployed and these were domain joined, so your domain users were going to be doing this UAT testing, then you could likely use the private IP address because it will be available internally within the network. However, if you're cloud, then you may want to choose public IP address and have this available publicly for a short period of time. Okay, and then it's who's going to be doing the testing, who's going to receive the notification. So I'm just going to send this to myself, but of course this could be one user, multiple users, depending on who's going to be doing that UAT testing. So click on save, and that's now going to start the UAT provisioning process. I'll go there in a second, but a couple of additional things. So what we're able to do as part of that provisioning process, and as really is part of our standard smoke testing technology, automation technology. We provision a VM, we provision a VM with your image that you selected, and then we go ahead and we install the application. But if you've defined any dependencies in here, then we will, of course, install those dependencies prior to this application installing. So when we provision the UAT, it will be provisioned with any dependencies that you've defined for that package. Okay, so that's now provisioning. Let me jump over to the sequences, and you'll see here we have the sequence running, and it's in the process of provisioning the target environment VM1 virtual machine, and it's going to be running Windows 11 23H2, which is what I define as my target environment. So first step is to provision the virtual machine. It's probably going to take about 8 to 10 minutes. In the background, I would have received a email as the user telling me that a UAT process has started. So this task runner was started provisioning for this application. It's going to be provisioned against this operating system. This is the task runner name and provisioned with a public IP address. Okay, and then some notes here, depending on the size of the application, whether or not we've defined dependencies, it could take up to 20 to 30 minutes for the device to be ready. So that will consist of around 8 to 10 minutes of VM provisioning time. And then on top of that will be application installation time. So depending on the size and complexity of the application, that could be anywhere between 1 minute and 30 minutes or more, depending on the complexity. So once it has completed setting up, of course, this will take you to the sequence that you'll see behind this window, this link. But we'll get another email when it's ready to go. And once it's ready, we're going to have, we've got these the wrong way around. So you've got 15 minutes to connect, and then you've got 60 minutes to complete the testing. Okay, so next thing is really just waiting for this VM to provision, and you can head over to Azure and you'll see that this this VM is now provisioning inside my Rimo3 resource group. So I will come back when the VM is ready. Okay, so the VM has now been provisioned. And so we're currently installing the application onto the VM. So that's already completed, nice and small application. So we've been running for about 12 minutes now, and we should be able to start the UAT process in a second. So we're now prepping. So we're getting a public IP address, opening 3389 for RDP, and launching our desktop agent to start the process, and we are now ready to go. So you can see we've started the process and we've got 15 minutes to sign in and then start the UAT process. So at the time of this video, there is a bug which has this messaging the wrong way around, and it's going to be fixed as of the 24th of April in a hotfix. So it's it's 15 minutes to connect and then 60 minutes to complete the test. So you can see here that it's ready, and we can't access the video yet, but what I will do now is go to my email. And you'll see that the manual UAT has now been provisioned. So for this application, we've got a public IP address, and we've now got 15 minutes to connect to the device. Okay, so let's download the RDP. And to sign in, we need to use the auto login account. So whilst we send emails to users using their email address, to actually sign into the account, we have to use the auto login account. If you don't remember what it is, then yeah, it's would have been done as part of the provisioning of the Rimo3 tenant. If you've done domain join, it will be inside the key vault, inside your Rimo3 subscription. So just give yourself access to secrets, and then you can see the auto login username and password, which you're able to go into and show the secret value will reveal the username and password. So just a quick tip there. So let me just sign in on my other desktop. Okay. Okay, so here we are now. You can see that we are ready to start the session, and this 15-minute clock is just counting down. So let's start the session. And you can see now we've got 60 minutes to complete the session. So let's get cracking. So we can start and launch the application. So there we go, successful launch. So here's where we can take some notes, take some screenshots. So take a screenshot and say 7-zip successful launch. There we go, add that to the records. And let's continue. So we can go into options. And then, yeah, just make sure all the options, everything looks good as expected. So if you've got customizations as part of your install, you can check that everything has been customized successfully. Make any changes you need. Check if things are working as they are. So yeah, let's run a benchmark. Take another screenshot. Benchmark launched. Add that, and yeah, so there you go. Do your functional testing. If you really wanted to, you've got Power Automate Desktop, which is included with Windows 11 now. You could launch Power Automate Desktop. Let's say you have to do this, a user has to do this test over and over again. They could launch Power Automate Desktop, sign in with their cloud credentials, and record these steps. Power Automate Desktop is great at that. Record these steps, and then if you wanted to retest the app on another OS or an updated version, you could rerun that recorded flow to check those steps complete successfully. Alternatively, other useful functions or ways to use this feature, you could launch an app packaging tool of your choice and maybe capture installation steps. So package an application, and then you could add onboard that package to Rimo3 for further testing, conversion, modernization, export to Intune, etc. So you've got multiple possibilities beyond the core UAT functionality. So anyway, completed the test, so let's end the session. And here we can add some final notes, mark it as a pass or a fail. So this one passed, 7-zip launched correctly, menus worked okay, and benchmark ran. Okay, there we go, and end this session. So what this will now do, it will go through the deprovisioning process. So we can disconnect from this VM. You can see here it's updated the console view here. So we've got my screenshots that I logged. So 7-zip successful launch, benchmark launched, provided a GUID of the screenshots, and we'll be able to access them here. So you can see this GUID referred to the launching of the application, and then this GUID refers to the benchmark run. So we captured these screenshots, and of course the full recording of the session is available. So it's me accessing the application and putting it through its paces, capturing the screenshot. So full session was recorded. So that's full audit trail for your functional testing of your applications. And this is great for those of you that have really struggled in the past with capturing these functional tests that your end users do or application owners do, where it's all based on a trust model. Now you have full audit trail of that activity for each of your applications that require functional testing. So finally, the application's uninstalled and the task runner is deprovisioned. And yeah, we marked it as a pass. So it took me about 20 minutes end to end for this application. But where can we see the results for this? So if I head over to my migration suitability dashboard, you'll see this application. So on here we have visibility of our automated smoke testing results and our performance measure. So comparing performance of target versus the baseline. And then of course our UAT results as well is shown here. So again, we can click on this, which will take us to that sequence which I showed, where you can access the console view and the video and the summary notes, all of that available here. Also, it's part of our migration suitability report as well. So you can access that as part of a CSV file. Let me just open it up. So you can see, is this application, discovery, success, OS baseline, current OS success, target OS success, perform the same, and then UAT result marked as a pass. And here's the commentary that I provided as part of that pass. And there you go. That is successful UAT demo of that feature. If you want to discuss it further, there's a QR code in the top of the screen. Scan that to fill out a form, and we'll get in touch if you want a demo. Same form. We're happy to show this to you and the wider Rimo3 platform. But thank you for watching. Take care.